A little bit about how to use Canvas for your course this term. So first you want to go to the Canvas page that is for Huntingdon College, and the address for that is huntingdon.instructure.com. And what's going to come up is what looks like a Google sign-in. You will use your Huntingdon College email address and Huntingdon College email password. So it should be something like your name, first or last name, or some combination at hawks.huntingdon.edu, and then your password. And then you need to sign in. When you sign in, it should look something like this, except you will probably only have one class available to you. And for example, for this term, it is Mgmt 499. You can see over here that you have some other options, but really you just need to go in and click in this class. You can also see over here you have a to-do list that has to do with this class as well, which is kind of helpful. In this class, it's going to automatically take you every time to the syllabus. And this is kind of a fun syllabus. It's interactive in that there are some links that actually work in here, and you can see that in some of these tables, for example here, there's a link that actually takes you to the information about the assignment in this particular class if you would like to go there. The best part, I think, is this course summary that's at the bottom. And in here, you can see all of the items that are due directly in Canvas. The only thing that's missing from this list, as far as I understand for this course, would be items from your Pearson software, the My Management Lab, which your instructor can talk to you about here. So you could actually click on these items that are due by, for example, November 5th, and go directly to them and start working on them. This should all be assignments, most of which are graded. Reading in this class is not graded, but it's assigned so that you know on your list what you should be keeping up with. Another way to access information about this class up here is what are called modules. You can click on that and you can see that your instructor has organized this class by week. And in week 1, it's summarizing that, okay, chapter 1 and 2 are what we're going to be focusing on. And if you click on the reading from week 1, it just gives you a little bit of information that you're supposed to read part 1, the prologue, chapter 1, and chapter 2. There are no points, so this isn't a graded assignment, but it's keeping you on track. You can go back to the modules, or you can just click next and keep going through things in the order in which they've been posted by your instructor. Here you have a graded discussion, and there are 10 points possible for your grade, and it tells you when it's due. If you would like to respond to the prompt that's right here, you can, using your own words, define strategic management. Okay, so if you want to reply, you click reply. All of this fancy stuff comes up here, but you don't really have to use all of that. You can just type in your reply. Strategic management is, and you can post some extra fancy things in there if you would like, or not if that's not what your instructor wants you to do. So I'm not actually going to post a reply, but you would go down here and just post the reply, and you could click next and keep on going, or you can go back to modules and click on the next one that you haven't clicked on yet. Okay, so something else you have here other than a discussion are your PowerPoint slides for the class. That's not something graded, but you can actually go through and review these directly online, or if you wish, you can download the item right here and keep it on your computer if you want. We can go back to the modules, and we can see that there's also something called a quiz. In general, if you notice, the graded items are not going to be indented, and the other items that are not graded, which might be resources or reading assignments that are not graded, are indented a little bit. So we can click on the quiz, and I must have started this quiz as this example student. So I'm resuming the quiz. You would see something a little bit different there. And you would just click through with whatever your answers are, and then when you are done, and you can also navigate to the different questions directly here or just scroll down, and when you're done, you would submit your quiz, but you would not want to submit until you were sure you had entered all of the answers that you wanted to. I'm pretty sure that if you navigate away, that it should have saved your answers, and we can actually test that here. Let's say I just select some random answers here, and something came up, and then I need to come back. Let's go back to our modules, navigate away, click OK. Let's test whether or not that saved our answers. Resume quiz. In fact, it did save our answers. So you can feel free to come and go and put items back in unless there is some sort of a time limit that later is imposed, which for right now, that's not set. Your instructor will inform you if it is set. So if you want to get to those discussions in a different way than through the modules, which we've got to them up here, you can see all of them in one place right here if you want. And in general, you can add another discussion that's not graded, but this really here is the graded discussions with their due dates right here. You can also view all of your assignments by date or by type. Here's by date, here's by type. And in the by type, you can see what percentage of your total final grade each area of item is going to be worth. So all of these discussions are worth 10% of your total altogether. The case report is 25% and so on. So that's helpful. Conferences would be if you're going to have some kind of a video conference together. Collaborations, you can start these collaborations and use resources like Google Docs or other things if you really want to do some fancy long-distance collaborating. And more information can be given to you about that if you're interested. Under chat, I haven't actually tried this out yet in a class, but I believe whoever is online would show up in here, and you can actually have a live chat together by clicking here if other people were online. As far as your course goes, if you click on the calendar and you prefer this view, you can also see on your calendar all of the items that are due visually and in what day they're actually due here. Let's go back to your class. Okay, so you can either get to it through courses or your dashboard, whichever you prefer. And let's get to one of the coolest things on here, and that is the grade page. You can either view calculating your grade right now based on only assignments that have been graded and essentially have been due already. Or you can calculate it as if you were deciding, oh, I'm not going to do anything else for the rest of the class. What would I end up with in this class? And the cool thing is you can do what's called a what-if score. So let's say you got an 8 on this one, and you got a 10 on this one, maybe a 1 on the first week's. You forgot this, and you got, let's say, a 75 on this quiz here. If you scroll down, you would get a 7.86% in this class if that's all you did. If that is all that had been due so far, your current grade would be a 64% in this class. So that's basically weighting it, but essentially calculating points possible so far, points that you've earned out of points possible so far. It's a little more complicated. It's a weighted average, but that's basically what it's doing. Okay, and you can revert this to your actual score, and you can actually save your what-if scores if you would like. And notice that your assignment weights are all right here as well to remind you how much each area is worth. And you can see a summary for how much you've earned so far in each category if you wish. The last thing that I didn't talk about is this external MyLab and mastering assignments, which will gradually start to appear more as your instructor ports them over to this class after they've been graded. I don't know exactly how this will appear to you, and I cannot test it because I don't have one of those codes for this class. So this part, your instructor may have to help you with getting set up, but I believe that you'll be able to click on things here and it will open the appropriate links to the assignments right from the page if you wish. So that's pretty much your introduction to Canvas. It's pretty intuitive, and I think you guys will really like this course website.